Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Pogba done deal. Not quite, but a very exciting reason to go a little bit early, and we've got loads to discuss tonight. Paul Pogba to Manchester United should be done in the next 2 days. Not from me, from the man I keep telling you has been spot on, Marzio. He's tweeted that out. United fans then followed it up and said, "You've got your neck on the line," to which he's come back with an absolutely superb response as well. He said, "Well, I had my neck on the line with Jose, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan, Bailly," and exactly, he got it right. I keep telling you this. He's got somebody very close to Manchester United because he keeps not only getting it right, but getting it right way before everybody else. I've never changed my stance. I think there was a lot of people today who'd said, "Oh, it's not going to happen." Maybe out of stubbornness, I didn't change my mind, because I think when you go for something and you commit to it, you've got to stay with it. I was a bit concerned Zidane's comments are a bit here and there, but he does mention Pogba directly and that who wouldn't want him. I think the great thing is that when this deal happens, we're just going to have to, well, let's hold back on that. But Real Madrid, you can have some, because it's great. Dan JL, block him. Alex, give us your thoughts. What are your thoughts in relation to this? I mean, we were going to be talking about where it is, and there's rumours from some people. I mean, it's going all over the place, to be honest now. Some people are saying one thing, some are saying the other. I just think stay consistent, that Friday's the day, and it will be done. And if we get to Saturday, it's not done, I think I'll start to get a bit concerned. But all these people are starting to, like betting odds are coming down. I mean, do people not grasp the fact that betting odds are based on customers? And if people are having a meltdown that he's going to Madrid, they're going to bet on Madrid. That's to do with the weight of the money. But I'll go to Alex and get his thoughts first.
The thing is, Marzio, he has been 100% right with Mkhitaryan, with Zlatan, with Bailly. Yeah, the person who he should be, like, we obviously all have like differing opinions because it's been such a saga. It's like rather than the Vidal saga so far. But if he's going to be accurate about one player out of the four that we've signed so far, it should be Pogba, seeing as he's Italian, Marzio, so he has a lot links closer to Juventus than he would have to the likes of PSG, to Dortmund, to Villarreal. So we should think that he does have the really close links. The only thing that worries me is that I know you tweeted out earlier after I wrote to you. I don't get what Adidas had to gain out of that blah thing. I have seen some people say it's talking about Rio Mialo, however you pronounce his name, like the agent.
I've got a theory on that. I have got a theory on that, and it's not my theory. It's come from somebody who works in the media, and I won't name him because I don't know whether he wants him to be named. I say media; he works in advertising, and he said that and somebody said it there as well. You're going to talk about the video from Adidas. For those who didn't see it, it was a few-second clip of. Obviously, Raiola, the agent, last week said Pogba to United is not a done deal. It's all blah, blah, blah. Well, today, Adidas, and we'll be talking about Adidas, funnily enough, in a few minutes, they released a clip of Pogba with his hoodie up with a paper. And as he opens it up, it says blah, blah, blah. Don't believe what you read in the papers. Now, you can read that many ways. You can say it's a dig at the agent to say it is a done deal and don't believe the blah, blah, blah. I think he's got white hair, so you could think he's going to Real Madrid. And what my marketing person said is, Adidas, Manchester United, I know Real Madrid and Juventus are Adidas clients, but at the moment, Adidas have been overjoyed by signing United. They're making so much money out of Manchester United that they would be their preferred client. And also the fact that the writing on the paper is red and black, it's just a massive indication that it's Manchester United and Pogba, and it's their two biggest clients coming together. Now, you can believe that or not, but that's from somebody who works in marketing, has got their own business. They said that is 100% Manchester United. Now, that's not from me, that's from them. I haven't made that connection.
How do you not think when you're saying, don't believe everything you read in the papers, the number one story by like 90% of what you're reading in the papers is Pogba to United? Yeah,
but also we're hearing that it's the agent holding up there's loads of ways to flip it, and no one's going to come away from this thinking, oh yeah, I feel far, far better now. I can't give you a syrup to make you feel better. I can't change my mind. If I come on here and say, I'm not sure now, I'm screwed. This deal has to go through. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do a lot of apologising. And Alex is laughing off camera. You can't see him when there's only two of us. But LaRusso says, I'm having a meltdown over Pogba. I think he's going to Madrid. Fair enough. I don't. Craig Farrell says winter is coming. I so want to. You know what? It's like a release. It's like when you haven't had any for a month. I just want to explode. Winter is coming all over. I want to explode my snow all over Real Madrid. Where am I going with that? But you know what I mean. I just want to, but I'm not. I'm going to hold off on that because nothing's done till it's done. But I was thinking about something today. And Alex, I'll feed this into you because we have gone early. So we're going to do a 40-minute show for those who wanted it last night. We've got loads to discuss. We've gone a bit early because of this Pogba thing. I was thinking back over previous transfers, and I tell you what this reminds me a lot of. It reminds me a lot of the Eden Hazard deal. Now, I know we didn't sign him, but it was like he was being such an... I mean, it was in the early days of Twitter and football, really, and he was being so provocative, a real cock tease. And I wanted him to come to Manchester United. And it was like, I think it was us, Man City, and one other club. I think Spurs were in the race as well, and obviously Chelsea. And I was like, every tweet he did, you thought Manchester United. He's coming to Manchester United. Then you thought City, and obviously he went to Chelsea. But it reminds me of Chelsea and the way they conducted themselves to get Hazard, the way we are about Manchester United, because they were the favourites and it happened. But I understand where everyone's going with this. I mean, I'll go to you, Alex. I mean, Ramos last summer, that was horrible. Pedro last summer as well. Fabregas the season before. I'm even old enough to remember Ronaldinho. I understand why Manchester United fans are unhappy. There was one fan absolutely writing tweet after tweet for about 20 minutes today, slagging Ed Woodward off. So I do get where people are coming from, but I can only say this deal, I personally think it's being done. Somebody's told me it's done. Somebody's told it's been done. And Marzio is now saying it's done. For me, I can't move any other way. There's no maneuver. I can't maneuver any other way. I think it's going to happen. I'm very nervous about it. I'm really nervous because it's a massive deal. And I share that nervous, but I can't help feeling it's done.
In terms of the Ronaldinho deal, we had Ronaldo that summer anyway over Ronaldinho, so it wasn't really the worst thing ever. Although in hindsight, I would absolutely love Ronaldinho because he's like one of my favourite players. He said he's going to Manchester, so it's going to be down to United and City and on the Champions League because they weren't even. Wasn't that they came like 7 years they came and then they won the Champions League under Di Matteo, and then he put out a tweet saying, "Oh, I'm joining the Champions of Europe." So that's how that one ended up. With this, it reminds me the most of, and I really hope it doesn't end up like it. Well, Schneider would be one person, but I got my hopes up. I think I was on the show at this time. It was like 2 years ago when we were linked with Vidal, and I was getting so excited every single show, being like, "Oh, we're signing Vidal. We're signing Vidal. I'm so sure of it. I'm so sure of it." And I've been jaded now by so many transfer sagas that I was saying about it at work today. I'm like, with Man United, you seem to always get one story every summer that lasts like 6 weeks that will be linked to them, and the press will all have a field day about it every single day, saying, "Oh, we're so close. We've had Schneider with it. With Gaetan is another one, but obviously not as high publicity." But then we had Vidal, and then we don't get them. And it's just like with Pogba, that Adidas thing did throw me off a bit because it looked like they're kind of saying like, "Oh yeah, don't believe everything you say in the press." But it's like we're their highest sponsorship payment, so whether you meant it or not, it's kind of weird that you would say that because it kind of hints at. Not a knock on United, and obviously Pogba put on his Instagram the other day about don't believe everything you hear or something along those lines. So it is kind of worrying, but I really hope I do trust Jose 100%, and I just hope that he says that we did have other targets lined up if we don't get Pogba. I just hope that we're not leaving it too late. And if he is pissing us about, and if Real Madrid are going through, then we should leave it maybe Monday at the latest and then get someone else in because we really can't afford. With how long we've been out of the success, we can't afford to be pissing about. We need our team to be ready for the new season.
I know there's some lag with Alex. A lot of you are saying that he needs to try and probably not speak for so long. But this is the problem with live TV, and we'll just go with it. But hi to Dee and Chloe. Scotty, the devil asked me to do that. I do agree with Alex. I think if it goes beyond Friday, I'm concerned. But what I would say is all those people are saying we should abandon the Pogba deal and tell him to get lost and go for Matuidi. You do realise they've got the same agents. That's probably not going to work. Winter has come, Mark. Pogba expected to sign in the next 48 hours. I'm reading the live comments. I think the vast majority are happy and hopefully liking the video and saying whatever. Herbie Howard saying Mark heading the Clouds Gold Bridge. It's hard to expand on that because I don't know what you're talking about. And there's a few people being obviously negative now, saying, well, you're only going along with what other people have been saying for a couple of weeks. Well, I don't think anybody else has been saying it other than this channel, that Pogba will sign for Manchester United. We've been saying it for 4 weeks. Marzio has obviously said it, but a lot of you didn't want to jump on that train. We did. And I know that I've had a lot of tweets today from a lot of haters who, to me, it just seems that you don't want Pogba to sign just to try and make, well, either this channel or me look stupid, which is ridiculous if you're a United fan. But if it goes wrong, I've told you, I'm not going to go off Twitter. I'm not leaving the United stand. I'm not going to go and disappear for 3 weeks so it all goes quiet. I'll come straight on. I'll probably cry. And I'll be really upset that we haven't got Pogba. And I don't care. You know, I want it to happen. I really want it to happen. I really think it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going off Twitter. I'm not leaving the United stand. People are saying, oh, you've got to leave. It's not WWE, you know. It's not a title belt. You retire if you get it wrong. If he doesn't sign, you'll see something. I'll go absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. I'll be gutted. But we'll just have to see what happens. Hi all. Solid Snake. The source is Marzio's Twitter. Fraz77. For those who don't understand, I think the video description is pretty well done today. It says, Paul Pogba to Manchester United done, says Marzio. So it's pretty clear. It's not us saying it, it's him today. Let's go to Adidas, though, because Adidas can do no wrong, as far as I'm concerned today. If you've not been on the Twitter account, we've had a bit of interaction with Adidas today. It's all down to Alex anyway, but so far as they've even given the United stand a shout out off their Adidas UK site, which is followed by nearly 1 million people. You might ask why that is. I did ask them. Basically, they tweeted before and said, I think yesterday, I only noticed it today, and they said, can we send you a DM? We really want to speak to you about all the bad things that happened to Alex at the weekend, where they clogged up his, they responded to a tweet where he was slagging Lingard off. They responded and everybody basically bombarded Alex, so he had to delete it and delete notifications. So I responded, they sent us a DM, and basically they want to send him something as an apology. I suspect it's going to be a Manchester United top with Lingard on the back, in which case Alex has said he's going to give it away on the United stand. But I did ask them, I said, come on, can't you just give us a little hint about Pogba? Got nothing back at all. But what I would say is, I mean, it's fantastic that they sponsor our club anyway. I think they're the best sponsor we had in our history and now. But also, massive shout out to them anyway, because so many big brands, when it comes to fans, all they want is the money out your pocket. And I think it was brilliant the way they interacted with not just us, but some of the people who were replying to the tweets as well. Really, really clever brand that is. And I'm really proud they're at Manchester United. But Alex, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think you're going to get?
Well, I wrote to them. I said, you don't have to give me a shirt because of the competition. Not competition, sorry, because of the Lingard tweet I did and all the thing. And I think that the reason they had to write United stand directly is because I blocked Adidas after it. But it was purely because of the amount of tweets I was getting. Like about Lingard saying, oh, Lingard's amazing, blah, 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 just because shit, which I didn't even slate his football ability, even though he has a low level of football ability. But I truly hold my hand up and promise, if they do end up sending me a Lingard shirt, I will give it to the show as a way to give away as a competition. But I said to them, you don't have to give it to me because of any of that, but I'll send you a picture of my Martial number 9 shirt that I bought like 4 or 5 weeks ago, whatever it was, on the new away kit that I paid for your Adidas away kit, and then just change it for the home kit with Zlatan on, and then I'll be happy.
It's very, very nice of you. Let's go to some of the comments, because we've had a fast start in relation to Pogba. I've got a couple of topics to talk about, and I've also forgot, I've got a really brilliant, one of my favourites. I think it is my favourite giveaway the United Stand's ever done, which we'll be talking out towards the end. I think it's fantastic, so hang in there for that. And obviously, I'll mention that a bit later. We're doing a United Stand extra time for those who are on that trial straight after this at 9 o'clock. But we've still got another nearly half an hour left. And I want to take some of the comments. Everyone dab when Pogba signs, says Woods M32. Lingard sucks, says Jacko Plays. Eshwar Nag says he's either 8 or 10. I don't know who they're talking about. Red Army, Pogba is a beast and definitely puts us in a great position for winning the Premier League. Sell Pogba, says Dylan 182. Jamie Steen says, and this is true, I forgot to mention this, blah 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 is a campaign that Adidas is running. Costa just did a video as well. They're using it as a marketing tool, which is true. There's another video gone up on the Adidas Twitter feed this afternoon in relation to a Chelsea player. I didn't notice it was Pogba, but they definitely have.
With Atletico Madrid, there's all the rumours about him going back to Atletico, so I guess that would be right.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it like that, it is slightly concerned. Zach says Lingard's got loads of potential. Andre Robinson says we're title favourites. Mohamed Armen wants me to cut my hair like Pogba when it's announced. He changes it every day. We have Riola on our side. That's why the deal will be done, says Tech Ninja. I suspect that's the Marzio's source. I really do. How will we line up with Pogba 4-3-3? No, I think we'd line up pretty much the same. Back four. Holding midfielder like Schneidlin, Carrick or Schweinsteiger. Box-to-box midfielder, Pogba. And number 10, probably Rooney. Right midfield, Mkhitaryan. Left midfield, Martial. Up front, Zlatan. I mean, bloody hell. What a team. Go and watch the preview at some point tonight that I did earlier. And even the team I've put out for Galatasaray without Pogba, it's a championship-winning team. And we've got a world-class side. Championship, I mean title-winning side. The team's brilliant already. Adding that in is great. Jordan Coffey, Falcao arrives at Carrington ahead of Manchester United move. Wood says any more midfielder after Pogba. I tell you what, there's so much invested in this Pogba deal. Let's just deal with the Pogba deal first, because I think when it does sign, I know we're all sort of, when he does sign, I think it's going to go off like a bottle of pop, realistically. Madrid has Kroos, Modric, Casemiro. Why do they need Pogba, says Sartak. I mean, mate, I don't know. I always thought Madrid maybe were throwing a spanner in the works.
They had Keylor Navas last season. Why did they need De Gea? They don't need a reason. They're just an absolute disgrace of a club that always has to try to bring in one big name, even if they don't need it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I was going to ask Alex anyway, but I did a meltdown video last summer, probably around May time, about them taking De Gea because I thought he was going to go, and let's be honest, he was going to go. I hate them. I hate Real Madrid basically because they are a greedy club who buy players and then within a year they get bored of them, like James Rodriguez, James Rodriguez, however you want to say it. I know it's over a year, but it's hardly been used. Then they want to offload them to buy somebody else. They're like a spoilt child. And not only that, it's not even their owners that are spoilt, it's their fans as well. They boo their legends like Ronaldo or Casillas. And they're just a disgusting club. I despise Real Madrid. I cannot wait until the day, because it is coming. I said it last summer. Winter is coming. If we get this Pogba deal, that's why I'm so excited, because if we get it, it's come. It might not happen. We might have to wait, but it will happen at some point. And I can't wait because I hate them. They're a horrible, horrible club. Nihar says they're greedy. Apparently, an interesting stat about Pogba that money may not know. Digo said he wouldn't fit in with Real Madrid anyway. Is that he had the most take-ons in Serie A last season, like running at players, which is good. People might not know that about his game. I think there's a lot of people who don't know a lot about Pogba, to be honest. You've probably just seen him whacking them in from 40 yards for Juventus, which he can do. But there's a lot more to his game that we didn't see in the Euros because he was managed by the French Van Gaal, who doesn't let his players express themselves and keeps people like Anthony Martial on the bench. So you can't judge any French player being managed by that. Jason Zhang makes a good point. We're going to talk Mustafi in a minute, Gabriel Jesus, and then we'll start talking about this prize giveaway as well. But we will delve into other things if you want us to. Gabriel Jesus, I've mentioned him before, 19 years of age, Brazil. I think he's at Palmeiras at the moment. Hard-working, skillful, can play anywhere along the front three. Really touted as being a very good player of the future for Brazil. Amazingly, he's not going to La Liga or Serie A. They seem to always grab the top South American talent. Apparently, Manchester City are firmly in place, but there was a report today that Jose wants to come in and swoop in and do the deal. To be honest, I'm not going to say this is I get a feeling about transfers and speak to a few people and that. I don't think this is going to be done. I don't know. I mean, does it fit in, Alex, with what we're trying to do? I think Man City are probably going to get him, to be honest, and we should not be distancing ourselves, but let's not turn it into us be City, because I don't feel that we're even in for him.
No, I don't think we're in for him, and to be honest, I don't think City are in for him. English clubs always get linked to these like big South American players, but it's like I don't know whether he was linked with Juventus and he was linked with United, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, but I don't know whether he actually has gone to Juventus now. Is that was it Batista, whatever he's called, the like new Neymar, and he was like the new up and coming thing, and then they move on like the next week to a new person that ends up costing like shitloads of money, and I don't think we'll buy him, and I don't think City will buy him. He won't end up in the Premier League. And I think you put a tweet out, I think it was today actually, saying that all the South Americans seem to go to the Italian league anyway, or the Spanish league, and they never end up in the Premier League. And to be fair, I think it would It'd be too much of a culture shock anyway to go from the Brazilian league to the English league.
No, I don't know how they do it in Serie A, but maybe it's I don't know, the sort of Italy and Argentina seem to have a nationalistic link anyway. Might be something to do with language. I'm a bit of a peasant when it comes to that sort of thing. But Nolan says, Mark, who's your source? HB. HB is a brand of pencil. It's HP, brown sauce. And Mark just got in. What's the latest on Pogba, says Lynn Hall. Okay, there's probably a few of you joining a bit late. Marzio's basically come out and said, and he's the one I listened to, there's been a lot going on with Pogba today. We've had the Adidas video where he's with the paper saying blah, blah, blah. Don't believe what you read in the papers, which a lot of people think he's not coming to United. He had Zidane doing his press conference probably overnight for Real Madrid saying that... basically saying, yeah, I sort of am interested in Pogba quite vaguely, but did mention him. And then we've had Marzio come out in the last hour or so basically saying that over the next 2 days, Manchester United, Juventus and Pogba should get this deal over the line. There was a follow-up tweet when somebody said, you realise your neck's on the line about this, Marzio. And he said, I know it is, but it was on the line with Mkhitaryan, Zlatan, Mourinho and Bailly, and I got it right on all of those. He's going for the famous 5.
It's 100% true. I saw you tweet that, but it's actually 100% true that he's actually tweeted that. Yeah,
they're both off his official Twitter account. I always check that out. So, I tell you what, even if I was like, say, I was bullshitting, which I'm not, I do think it's done. Even if I wasn't, I think that would make me think, bloody hell. Because if he gets this wrong, it would be such a shame for him. I don't care about me. I'll come on and say sorry to you all lot and say, I thought it was done, whatever. I'll feel so sorry for Marzio because he's been so right this whole year. The Mourinho thing was like 3 months before. Zlatan, Mkhitaryan was weeks before. Bailly as well. And Bolo, when I was saying it was done, and he said it wasn't a week before. He's been so right all this summer. It would be so horrible for him to put his neck on the line and get this wrong, which is why I just don't think he will do. I really don't, and I don't want that to happen. But Mustafi is playing for Valencia. Valencia have come out and said that he's on the market for £25 million. We were talking about centre-backs last night. We were talking about Koulibaly at Napoli, Manolas at Roma, and Bonucci at Juventus, and saying that we're probably not going to get them done because they've all lost a major player already. But Valencia have apparently come out and said that Mustafi is available. I think he's about 24. Yeah, he's 24. He's 6 foot tall. Played for Germany in the Euros. Sort of Vidic-esque. I haven't seen a lot of him, but a lot of you lot seem to like him. £25 million. I tell you what, he's an absolute steal at that price. We're not going to get any of the 3 I mentioned before for any less than 40 million. I would go and do that deal. I think he sort of fits in brilliantly. So, I mean, do you know much about him, Alex, Mustafi?
I don't know much about him, but out of the ones you mentioned, who I would be really interested in, even though he's old, so to say, would be Bonucci. And I know we will never get him because I think City had a £51 million bid rejected for him, which was just absolutely ridiculous for someone that old. But I was speaking to some Italian guy from he supported AC Milan, so obviously not Juventus, but obviously watches a lot of Serie A, and I was like, the weird thing, or not the weird thing, but the one thing about Bonucci is that he's one of the rare defenders these days that can actually defend. We were talking about how John Stones is like overpriced now, like 50 million, and it's like so much of an emphasis these days seems to be based by how to push forward and being good with the ball and stuff, whereas Bonucci actually can defend. So if I was to have a choice out of the beds that you've listed, it would be Bonucci any day, even if he isn't a bit older. But to be fair, like I don't even know how old he is now, and I'm not saying obviously that we should get him, but John Terry I think is like 34, 30, and if Bonucci's 29, and John Terry only up until like last year, he was still one of the best centre-backs in the league, so you can still do it in the Premier League at an old age if you have the mind for it and obviously the physical qualities.
Yeah, Ross Harrington says we must go in for Mustafi. Louise O'Donoghue, she likes Mustafi. And seeing if there's anybody else. Mustafi plays for Valencia, Shane Holland. Yeah, I think we said that. Kimmich was class at the Euros, says Johnny Hennigan. Stones is overrated, says Woods M32. Mustafi is class, says Arian Kronos. And would love Kimmich at United, says Johnny Hennigan again. ESPN says Pogba hasn't transferred yet, says Kean Adams. No, we're not saying it's the no, it's not officially done or anything like that. It's Di Marzio coming out. That's what we're saying and saying it. And just while I was talking to Alex then, I had to, even though I've read it 5 times already, I had to go back onto Twitter and make sure that I was 100% on his official account. And yeah, as I'd said, he's come out and basically said that over the next 2 days, United and Juventus should agree the deal. He was then asked, I'll read it to you, in 2 days at Juventus and at Manchester United should close the deal for Paul Pogba. Talks ongoing between the clubs. And also, he was asked about his credibility. My credibility was on the line for Mourinho, Ibrahimovic, Mkhitaryan, and every day in the last 22 years. And I will read you this one because it might just it might dampen your spirits a bit. He said, in my job, credibility cannot be on the line for every news. I've got lots right and wrong on others. So, you know, I said this, you know, somebody was having a go at me today because a tweet appeared from 18 months ago about Nathaniel Klein where I said I thought it was a done deal. And from our mate Ben Alex, surprise, surprise. And throwing that up now, it's like, you know, name me anybody, any media outlet who's gets it right 100%. They don't. But if you can get it right 70% of the time, then I think you're doing quite well. And I think Di Marzio this summer has been so 100%. I hope to God it doesn't fall apart on this. But
that Miguel, I don't know if you ever heard of him, that Miguel Delaney guy, like, tweeted me before, and he's like, what a lot of the people don't understand is that journalists don't actually plug these things out of midair, and that when they're writing these stories, it is actually initial interest, and then, like, so with Klein, we did actually have interest at the time, and then for whatever reason, we then, moved on to Damien or something, but I guess you register initial interest, and then, so you ask the club what they'd want, blah, blah, blah. So there is actually interest, and then the press would write a story about that. So whether it's like concrete interest or whatever, it just changes.
Yeah, I mean, and as I keep saying, Di Marzio's clearly got somebody from either an agent who would probably be Guardiola or at Manchester United giving him information, because you can get it right. You know, somebody might give you a backhander in the media 10 minutes before it's going to break to give you a head start. If you know, like Sir Alex Ferguson didn't like certain papers, he had good relationships with others. I'm sure he fed them something, you know, a few minutes earlier. But Di Marzio's getting it weeks before. That's somebody very, very good. Kevin McGee says, I bet you'll be happy when the deal's finalised. I tell you what, maybe a massive weight off everybody's shoulders, especially mine. And Comedy High TV says, please read. Recently, Zidane gave Varane the number 5 shirt. If Pogba was to follow Zidane's footsteps, Zidane would wait for Pogba to come and give him the number 5, ? I don't know anything about that number 5 thing, so I'll take your word for it. Orange Hat 1 says, Mark Fellaini to Sunderland. Do you think it'll happen? Not even thinking about it, because I tell you what, I'm not going to be that greedy. Let's get the Pogba thing out of the way. Fellaini leaves. It's like, you know, someone's going to have to pinch me about this summer because it's been ridiculous. You know, getting Jose was the big thing I really wanted. To then get Zlatan, to then get Mkhitaryan, to then be bringing Pogba back, and to then sell Fellaini. I mean, you can't have it all. I want it all, like Jose said, but let's get the Pogba deal done first. But I tell you what, we've been on air for a good over half an hour here, but I'm absolutely exhausted, Alex. You know why I'm so tired? I couldn't sleep last night. I just couldn't sleep at all. I was so sad and depressed that Mane turned us down for Liverpool. I just couldn't sleep. I was just like, what is going on? Why wouldn't Mane want to come and sign for us? What a load of crap. Joe Cole said it after he'd finished Liverpool. He was told to say that Manchester United had gone for him and he turned them down. It's like Liverpool are such an amateur small club now that every player they sign, they're basically telling them to say, tell them you turned Manchester United down. We were interested in Mane around January time, and Van Gaal probably would have gone for him again in the summer. But never in a million years was Jose in for him, because if you think about it, if he was in for him, was Mkhitaryan our backup plan? I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, Alex. It's just a load of rubbish.
That's what, like, after I read that this morning, and then apparently Manchester Evening News released like an article saying that's absolute bullshit. It never happened. Jose Mourinho was never interested in him. Obviously, Van Gaal was back in January. But why would it make any sense to bring in someone as your second choice with 2 times as many goals, 4 times as many assists, Bundesliga Player of the Year for close to, not exactly, but close to half the money for a far better player? Why, like, Liverpool fans, and let them get on with it, to be honest, like acting like, oh yeah, Mane rejected us and that we had to settle for Mkhitaryan. But if you would have asked the majority of them beforehand who they'd rather have had, Mkhitaryan or Mane, literally 95% of them would have chosen Mkhitaryan.
It's a load of rubbish. I find it funny now. Liverpool are such a small club. They try and wind us up. I tell you what, they go around like they're a big club. They're not even the biggest club in England, starting with L. That's Leicester. They're the champions. Look them up. That begins with L as well. So to try and start having a pop with us, they're an absolute laugh. I mean, I look forward to beating them next year, but they're not going to be significant. I mean, I think their signings are a joke, and Mane, whatever. We've got 1,500 people watching, which is amazing. I'm sure that's a lot to do with the Pogba news, which is great, and I'm glad that a lot of you have joined us. If you're new to the channel, The United Stand, all about fans, all about you lot. Please get involved, subscribe to the channel, just tell your friends, keep spreading the word. It's doing really well this summer, and we say it how it is, like the video, whatever like that. But so great to have so many of you involved and getting involved with it. What I wanted to do is, well, we've got so many of you, and because the comment section is going so fast, it's hard to break anything down. We will do the United Stand extra time for anybody who is involved in that about 9 o'clock, and we'll stop this then. But we did it for a laugh a couple of nights ago. Just start typing in your percentage of what you think Pogba's coming to Manchester United, because I think things are changing around at the moment. I'll ask Alex what his is. How sure are you that Pogba's going to sign now, Alex?
I'm just replying to a comment on the chat. It changes every single day because there seems to just be a new story out every single day. But if Marzio is saying that it's pretty much done, what did he say in 48 hours? And I'll say 70%, because the only thing that scares me is the Real Madrid interest. But I don't see logic in them, apart from just getting revenge on us for De Gea, that why they would even go in for him, because they have Kroos and Modric, they don't need him. So I'll go for 75%, and I really, really hope it covers 100%, because unlike a lot of people saying he's not worth it, he's not worth it, I don't care, it's not my money, I don't give a shit, he's a million times better than any of our midfielders.
Well, I think I was 100% a couple of days ago. I'll tell you what, I've come down slightly because Madrid probably are in the race, and I was hoping they weren't. So I'm going to come down from 100% to 99.9 recurring. But a lot of people, I can't even read them all out, but a few have done 99. Somebody did 50% there. Come on, get a bit more positive than that. Another 50, a lot of 85s. Somebody's saying slow down now. I probably have started something I shouldn't have done there, because it's absolutely whizzed through and it's impossible to read.
It's just going ridiculous.
Yeah, we won't do that again. But yeah, I mean, we've got loads of people watching with us. So what I would say is, I said this the other night, when and if Pogba signs, we're live at 8:30 every night anyway. When Pogba signs, we're going to get 3 or 4 of the panelists on, all of you lot as well, and really delve into there's so many aspects to this, and I don't really want to delve into it too much now, because it might be jumping before the egg is hatched, so to speak. But mainly what he will bring to the team, 2, where he's going to fit into the team, 3, what it means to world football, because we are an ambassador. We're an island, really. All we care about is Manchester United. But if we pull this deal off, we've not only just done it for Manchester United, we've done it for British football as well. You know, there's massive ramifications. So we will have a show on the night that he signs, hopefully Friday, to discuss all that. But Alex is.
But can I just say quickly, the ridiculous thing is that, yeah, I signed Pogba for 100 million or whatever it is. That's fair enough. He's 23, 24, and everyone's saying, oh, it's a waste of money, blah blah blah. People. Juventus just signed Higuain for, what was it, 90 million euros, the biggest bottle in world football history, that every single final he's ever been in, he's been in an iconic situation of a one-on-one, and every single one-on-one he's missed, and he's cost Messi like how many tournaments, and I think he's surely done it for Napoli as well. He's the biggest bottle job ever, and he's 29 years old, and no one says a thing because it's not man, it's just an absolute.
Well, as Alex breaks up there, I think he's picked up on something that I said last night, and Alex will never let you down, and it's fair, and he's spot on what he's saying about Higuain, because I said, I think it was last night, that I thought he was a player we were linked to last year, and if you were watching the United Stand last year, which a lot of you won't have been, because obviously we've grown a lot in a year, I said that I don't want to go anywhere near Higuain. He is a bottler. He misses big chances. And we were touting 40 million. I was like, 40 million? No way. No way. He's 28. I don't want anything to do with him. I got a bit of stick today from people saying, how can you say he's not worth that? He would have made us champions last year. But have you actually watched Higuain apart from the highlights? Because every time I've seen him, whether it's Champions League or Argentina, he bottle jobs it. He's a bit like Lingard. but worse. Lingard's worse, sorry. That when he hasn't got to think about it, he's quite a natural finisher, obviously. But when he thinks about it, like one-on-ones and stuff like that, he tends to miss it. I wouldn't want him anywhere near Manchester United. And I do agree with what Alex was saying there. What the hell are they doing, paying over 70 million sterling for Higuain when he's 29? I just think it's absolutely laughable. And if they're so, you know, I don't think anybody's even thinking that Pogba will stay at Juventus now, because it's just not going to happen. But another thing that's very interesting as well is the media hate towards Manchester United, which I think Alex was very well sort of subtly saying there, is that since we've come back from China, when you read all the press, and I've told you this is going to happen, they're out for Jose and they're up Pep's arse. The press have been, oh, what a shambles China's been for Manchester United. An absolute disaster. What a waste of time. Pep comes out. Why are they going to China? It's just all about the money. They shouldn't be going to China. No. Pep comes out today and says it's a bit of a waste of time coming to China, la-di-da. Oh, he's right, he is. Yeah, and they're all sticking up for him. And it's just like, the contrast is hilarious. So get used to that, because that's here to stay. As Special C says, Pep is a myth. He's a fraud as well. I tell you what, he's had it on a plate everywhere he's gone, and everywhere he wasn't as successful at Bayern Munich for a simple reason. He didn't have a world-class player. Well, Messi's beyond world-class. Ronaldo and Messi are once-in-a-generation players. You're always going to have a few world-class players, and there was some world-class players at Bayern. But he had it on a plate. He had people like Iniesta, Xavi in their prime, Messi. He's had it on a plate at Barcelona, and then he went to Bayern Munich, had it on a plate again, but still couldn't win the Champions League in a one-horse race. Won the league, wow. And then he's going to come to Man City with a load of money again. But I think he's going to get exposed in this league, because it's not a one-horse race. And I think he's going to get a bloody nose, and it's going to bleed red. But we'll just have to wait and see. Dika's saying, shut up. I know there's still a lot of Pep lovers who are United fans, but I do seriously think he will get found out. I don't know what you think, Alex. I know you like Pep.
Oh, my God. This always really pisses me off. It's like, whenever you talk to other fans saying that you don't like Pep since you got Jose, they was like, oh yeah, I bet you went back through tweets and deleted your Pep out tweets. Well, how about you go back on United Stand videos and go back like 2 years ago for me talking about Pep Guardiola. How I've always said that I prefer Jose Mourinho, and the Pep had never happened, and I really don't. I wouldn't have trusted him at United, especially with current. We don't have the problems always inherited. I saw a Manchester Evening News that apparently he wants to make, like, I don't know what it was. It said Fernandinho / Fernando, so I don't know whether he wanted them as both his centre backs or that he's deciding between the two of them. But apparently he wants to use them as centre backs. So go ahead and try to use that. If your arrogance is really going to make you think that you can play like them as your ball-playing centre backs in the Premier League, you're used to absolutely poverty league. So we'll see if it works in the proper league.
Yeah, lagging again. And Tyler says, do one, Alex. But no, I think I got the gist of it there. I'm just going to update on Pogba again, because a lot of you might have been coming in and out. The headline of the video, we went a bit early tonight than we normally are live at 8:30, is that Marzio, the man, you can't go further wrong than him. He's come out and said the next 2 days, United and Juventus will get it on in relation to the Pogba deal. Somebody said, well, you're putting your neck on the line there. And he followed it up brilliantly, I think, by saying, I've put my neck on the line about Jose, Mkhitaryan, Zlatan and Bailly this summer, and I've been right. So I think I've never moved away from the fact. I know there's a lot of people very nervous about it. I understand that. You know what? I'm starting to get nervous about it, because I think Friday's the day. We can't be going into another week. We can't be going into another week. He's got to start worrying then. I know people are throwing things out like Pogba's dragging his feet because he wants Madrid to come in, but there's no indication of that at all. All week it's been about agent fees and Juventus and Manchester United. It's not been about that. So we don't know that that's not the case, but I think we've got to get it done by Friday. If it's not done by Friday, then I would be starting to worry about it a bit, but we shall see. Right. You've held on long enough. We've got to get off to go and do the extra time for everybody who is on part of that 14-day trial we're doing. The link is in the video description. However, before we do that, what I think is the best prize we've ever done, Obviously, when me and Alex are talking to you, we are in a Google Hangout where when we go off air, we're still talking to each other. What we are doing, and we've started offering it out. I mentioned it on the show last night. We've got one lined up for overseas people at midday UK time and one at 9 p.m. UK time for European people. Those spots went boom like that. I thought, damn, I'm doing that, but I've never even run it as a trial. So I thought, we'll do it as a prize. We'll do it as a prize. I need 9 people to join me in a hangout, private hangout. There is a chat in there, but it won't be on YouTube. It's a private hangout for an hour, bit of a Q&A. I know there's a few people who want to come on the United Stand anyway. So I thought, well, you know what? Send us your email address. You can have it as a bit of an audition. If you don't want us to see your face, you're a bit shy, you just want to be on the comment section, you can do that. You don't even have to talk or anything like that. We've got 9 spots for a hangout. How do you put your name forward to do it? If you go into the video description, I think it's the 3rd paragraph down. It says it in bold, soccerboxtv@gmail.com. Send us an email to that to say you'd be interested in doing it, and we'll reply to you in the next day or so. We're going to set a date, and like I said, it'll be a private hangout. 10 of us in there, Q&A for an hour, ask whatever questions you want, get involved with it. But even if you just want to just have a private hangout with me, but you'll be doing a massive favor because I just want to see how this is going to work. So definitely soccerboxtv@gmail.com. And yeah, I think it'd be really interesting. And it's something that we might start doing a couple of them a month because a few people have asked about it. There was loads of interest in it from it yesterday. But I thought, what a brilliant prize that is. 9 of you, 1 of me. And we might even start expanding that out and getting people like Alex and Joey involved as well. So it's like us in a little room, really, having a little chat. So I know there's a few of you who want to get involved. Send us the email. Also, we've started our Patreon website. If you want to donate to the United Stand and have a shout out and a question read out, that's in the video description as well. I think I've covered everything. Alex, anything you want to say?
No, not really. Just anyone that wants to join us on extra time, do that because we're going on to that in like a few minutes.
Well, controversial that is, but it is only a trial. I think we've got just over a week left of it. The video, there's a link in there to the link. You'll see what you have to do, and we'll be there literally live in about 3 minutes time. But also, just finally, I want to say all those things are in the video description. Get involved in them. Obviously, I'm looking forward to that hangout thing, and that is free and it's a private hangout. There's no fee or anything for that. Don't worry about that. But massive shout out to Adidas. Brilliant. They're following the United Stand. They shouted us out, and Alex probably deserves the thanks for that. Dave Poulton's saying, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and the websites, the United Stand and all that lot. Sylvester Steve's shouting, Dan, Dan, Dan. I hope you're an Alan Partridge fan because I love that. But I just want to say, loads of you watching. Drop us a like. We hit 1,000 likes last night. It's all about yourselves, and winter is coming, as Wood says. Drop us a like. Let's go over 1,000 likes. That'd be fantastic. But massive applause to you as per usual. It's been a busy live comment section tonight. We're going over to United Stand extra time for those involved in that. If you want to get involved, it's more like a bit of just a relaxed after show thing, and the live comment section is a lot less busy. We talk about all sorts of stuff. But yeah, brilliant, says Jamie O'Hare. Brilliant to all you lot. Back tomorrow at 8:30 unless Pogba signs, and we'll have an instant video ready for that. But we will be live as per usual at 8:30, and hopefully either tomorrow night or Friday night we'll be doing the big Pog Boom show. But I've been gabbling on. Get looking at the video description because there's loads of things to get involved in. But definitely send us an email to soccerboxtv@gmail.com because there's loads of things to get involved in that. If you want to get on the show or you just want to have a private Q&A or whatever like that, please do send all your stuff through. So get involved. See you later. And if you're going over to United Stand extra time, the video link is in the description and we'll literally be on there with the after show in about a minute or two's time. See you in a bit. Thanks everybody for watching. Drop us a like and keep doing it for the United Stand. Peace out.